What's up, guys? Open Ice Hits with Scotty2 Hockey. Let's talk Habs, and today let's talk about Ilya Kovalchuk. With the NHL trade deadline looming just a week away, there's been tons of rumors circulating that Kovalchuk may be traded out of Montreal. Only just about 2 months ago, they picked him up after LA bought him out. They got him on an absolutely great deal, $700K, and he has earned every penny of it so far. Looks rejuvenated in Montreal since he's been there. I wrote on Facebook, Twitter, and a few Habs groups, Diehard Habs, Habs Nation. I got to give a shout out to those groups. I said, calling all Habs fans, I'm currently working on a Kovalchuk video and would love to get your opinions on this subject. Should Montreal extend Covey or sign him to a new contract this summer, or should Mark Bergevin trade him? Please explain why you think he should or should not be moved. Weber is a Wolverine on Twitter, says sign him. He has plenty of game left, and the Habs have enough picks coming that if they don't get another second-round pick, it won't kill them. Can never have too much experience and positivity in the locker room. I had to say I agree with him on the experience and positivity in the locker room part. Plus, when they get Romanov, it wouldn't hurt to have another Russian veteran player there, a guy who he probably looked up to as a kid. Al Damone on Facebook says, Covey trade holds no value. If he chooses to re-sign for cheap, you do. If not, don't use a roster spot for an old money player. Great impact thus far. Maybe needed to keep around for Romanov to have a fellow Russian. He don't know. I fully expect, if traded, he doesn't come back and simply auditioned through the Habs. I don't really think he auditioned through the Habs. I just think that's one of the only teams that were after him at the time, in my opinion, after he got bought out. Hugh on Twitter says, trade him before he slumps any further. Bring him back but 1 year max to help Romanov and Akulov next season. HFR 1986 on Twitter says, depending on what we get for him, if Washington offers a first rounder, I don't think Washington will offer a first rounder myself, but he says if Washington offers a first rounder, you take it. But if they offer a second plus 2/3, you think about it. Sounds a bit rich, who knows? Chad Barnes on Facebook says trade him. Darryl Woolley says sign him. Sweet and simple there. Darryl Ross Woolley on Facebook. Yuha Sunarsi, sorry if I butchered that name, says sign him if possible. Trade him only if he wants to. Late second round picks are mostly empty promises. You can't always say that. Some players turn out good. The Simbin on Twitter says trade him for a second, then sign him when he's a UFA. So basically do the same thing they did with Thomas Buchanan when they sent him to Toronto for a second-round pick and then re-signed him in the summer. Talking Habs on Twitter says, I don't think he will bring back as much as people think. Now that he has come back to earth scoring-wise, I would sign him hopefully to a 1 or 2 year deal at $2 or $3 million per. He is great in the room and could really help with all the young guys to mentor them. I agree with that. He could definitely help with the mentoring the younger players. 2 or 3 million seems a bit expensive, if you ask me. Habs Setter on Twitter says, trade him while he's hot. He already looks like the adrenaline is running low. Great leader, nice to have a superstar, but you have an opportunity to get something for nothing. I wouldn't call him nothing. Ilya Kovalchuk looks rejuvenated in Montreal, and if he could play next year like he's played in the past 20 games for the Habs, he could really be something for us next year. Hockey Card Crony on Twitter says, I think we should sign him to a 1 or 2 year deal. He's great in the room and wants to be there, plus he can score. All the things we need him more for, just as better than a second round pick is basically what he was saying. Which is why I have to say I agree with him. A lot of people have asked me my opinion on this, and I think if you can get Ilya Kovalchuk, sign him, bring him back next year for $1.5 million on a 1 year deal, maybe $2 million. I'd only want to see a 1 year term as kind of a project to see what he can really do. Not only would he be a great veteran to have in the locker room, he could produce. I could see Ilya Kovalchuk still scoring 20 goals next year, still putting up 40 plus points. He is still a good player. He has the speed, he has the size, he has the work ethic, and most of all, the talent is still there. He's old, but in my opinion, he isn't washed up. He didn't earn his money in LA, but by no means. But for $1 to $1.5 million, I think Ilya Kovalchuk could be a steal and a good veteran presence to have around. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And of course, have a great day. Open Ice Hits with Scotty2 Hockey. Over and out.